everyone, my name is Anna and I'm standing right outside the Santa Monica College Library, and today I will be talking to you about the history of books. Let's begin.
The year is 3400 BC, and we are here in the ancient civilization Sumer, where the first writing system was created. By making wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets, the people who lived here changed history for centuries to come. Before this writing system, called cuneiform, people lived in an oral tradition, passing on knowledge and stories by talking to one another, person to person. One of the first literary works was created here on a clay tablet called the Epic of Gilgamesh. And it's pretty amazing that you can still read this even 5,000 years later. Fast forward about 1,000 years and we're now in Egypt, where the transition from clay tablets to papyrus became a vast improvement over the fragile clay tablets. Papyrus and later on parchment could be rolled into scrolls, which was even more convenient and space-saving. The Romans took a further step in the evolution of books with the making of the Codex, the first book from our modern point of view. By attaching sheets of parchment together by the edge, you could use both sides of the sheets and also navigate easier by having different pages. The Codex set a new standard for the book format that still lives on up till today. Paper was another new advancement emerging in the Middle Ages, along with another kind of writing culture, manuscripts. These were handmade, mostly religious books, illustrated with incredibly amount of detailed pictures and writing, and they took an immensely amount of time to produce since everything had to be done by hand. The ones who worked with transcribing, copying, and making of these manuscripts were called scribes, which was a very high-ranking position at this time. The biggest and most revolutionary change to books came in the 1400s when Gutenberg developed the mechanical printing press. His invention started the printing revolution, which led to important movements in Europe like the Renaissance and the Age of Enlightenment. One of the things that Gutenberg printed on his press, on paper and also on vellum, which is a fine parchment made of calfskin, was a version of the Bible, known today as the Gutenberg Bible. At this point in time, books had become a mass medium, accessible to most of the general population. But before the mechanical printing press made publishing easy, books were expensive and a privilege only to the rich and to the high-ranking within the society and within the church. But with the mechanical printing press, books and everything that they carried, knowledge, ideas, stories, and so on, became accessible to most of the general population. Illiteracy rates dropped, and people began to become more independent and started to question the leaders in the society, leading into a new era in Western history. The mechanical printing press ended the evolution of books for quite some time. The way of producing and publishing books only underwent a few minor changes within the last 500 years. It is not until our own time, in the late 1900s, that the book industry and the publishing business began to change again. Welcome back to the modern world.